Hey, Garage Gym athletes, before we get to the show, I wanted to check to see if you knew that we are on YouTube. We've been on the platform for a while, but only more recently started to get serious about some video content. So while the podcast will meet most of your needs, some things simply need a visual explanation. So if you want more on concurrent training, programming, garage gyms, head over to YouTube, search Garage Gym Athlete, and subscribe to the channel. I look forward to connecting with you on another platform. All right, let's get to the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garage Gym Athlete Podcast. Jerred here with Ashley Hicks and Joe Courtney. Team, how you doing?
What's up?
Okay.
I'm here, so you guys don't get any music.
Yeah. Oh,
Don't act like I'm not listening.
I
Don't
thought,
act like I'm not. Yeah.
for sure you would skip it. Like you just like, I wasn't on it. Why listen to it? Well, it's good stuff. Well, let's get into the study. We'll kick it off. So this one, the title of the study is Influence of Total Repetitions per Set on Local Muscular Endurance, a systematic review with meta-analysis and meta-regression. Super cool. So this one is talking about kind of pros and cons of how to program strength training. And this is me putting it in my own terms. So they're looking at how to build up more strength endurance. So strength endurance is lifting moderate loads for repetitions. So there's absolute strength, like 1 rep max strength, which is the most weight you can put on the bar. That's just going to be what we call strength. Then there's strength endurance, which is what I just said. And then you can get down to strength speed, which is moving a lighter load quickly, so dynamic effort lifting. And then there's speed, and absolute speed is typically sprinting, throwing, punching, those kind of things. So that's the strength continuum, and this one is focused more on how do we optimize for strength endurance. That's really what they're looking at. There's not as much to dive into this study on our end, so what we're going to kick things off with is more a conversation on strength methodology and where we think, a 1 rep max fits in versus strength endurance, maybe which one we think is more important. And we'll kind of back up some of what we're saying and the programming behind it with this study. But being that it is a, meta-analysis, we're not going to pick it apart or whatever. There's, so many studies that are included. But I think would be better for the listener for context on different strength methods. So I will throw it to whoever, one of you, 50-50 here. What do you think is more important in your training or for the training of a garage gym athlete? Is it to focus on 1 rep max strength, so just getting as strong as we possibly can, or local muscular endurance, strength endurance, and that's being able to lift moderate loads for a lot of repetitions? And this is just our opinion, but for yourself, there's probably one answer, but then for the garage gym athlete, it's either the same or different. So what do you guys think?
Mine's sort of a cop-out answer of I want it all, but hear me out. To me, the 1 rep max and going up, especially if you've been training for a while, is sort of a long-term thing to shoot for. Like I probably will only do a true 1 rep max once a year now because of just how long I've been training. But leading up to that and throughout the year, I'm going to want to test how much I can lift at a certain weight, and to know that and to work toward the strength endurance. That's kind of going to be a more of a closer timeline focus on, okay, I'm going to have this weight. I'm working off of this max right now. Now in a couple of months, I want to see like I can lift this percentage this many times. So in 2 months, I want to be able to lift this percentage 2 more times or something like that. I'm working on the muscle endurance in the short term so that you still have the long-term goal of increasing the 1 rep max. But I think to be more of a I guess a day-to-day type focus, strength endurance is something that should be at the forefront of your mind, with a longer goal of, okay, eventually I want this to lead up to heavier 1 rep max weight, so that in turn later on down the road my strength endurance can be used to test heavier weights at strength endurance. That makes sense. Just kind of like a cyclical thing.
Yeah, what do you think, Ashley?
I would agree with Joe. Well, with the caveat of I actually don't really care about what 1 rep max is right now, or didn't really care prior to, just because of why, like, I had to take my training down, I guess. So this whole moderately lifting for a little bit higher of reps was kind of what I was going for, more. I agree with strength endurance, but I also agree with it because I think it also makes you a better athlete for other things than just lifting is
Yeah, there's more
where I'm
carryover.
going. So I think that that's why I would focus on that. And again, gone are the days that, I think that I could hit like a 250-pound back squat. Maybe if I did BCT and went a little heavier, but I think it's good to kind of train both, lower reps, higher reps. I don't think you should just only train one way unless you have a goal that you're trying to hit, kind of thing.
Well, I'm not going to do the cop out answer. I'm just going to pick one, which one I think is more important. But I mean, ultimately, you're both right. And that's why, like, one man, one barbell takes into approach the repeated effort method, the dynamic effort method, the max effort method. We obviously in our programming really do like well-rounded strength, but I think that strength endurance is more important. I think that it is the more important strength to have because it's what can get you through life. It can also lead to more hypertrophy, less injury. I think always chasing one rep max is a dangerous game. And like, where are you going to go? Like, Joe's talking about only testing it once a year. I mean, I'm basically the same. I also don't care that much about my 100 max because that game has to end at some point. The like, let's increase my 100 max. You can't do it forever. And the further you get up on that pyramid, the higher the chance of injury is going to be. So even if you are somebody who's competitive in a certain weight class for powerlifting or whatever, it's cool, but that's a short-lived thing before you're eventually going to start getting knocked down from hurting yourself in one way or another. And so I do think strength endurance is ultimately more important for the garage gym athlete. And so that's just my view of like, if you had to pick one like that, if you only had one piece of equipment to train with for the rest of your life type question, like if you had to pick, if I could only train one of those, it would not be training for 1 rep max strength. It'd be training for strength endurance. And these things are very, very different. So in one man, one barbell, that program, there's something that we call the moneymaker method. And so what you do is you do your 4 or really 3 working sets. And then on the 4th working set, you do as many reps as you possibly can. And it's at a strength endurance percentage typically. Like if you're using a training max or whatever, it can range from 60 all the way up to high 70s, like 77%. And again, it depends if you're using training max. But when I did one man, one barbell for a year and only did the moneymaker method, like my strength endurance got stupid. Like I was but my 1 rep max didn't go up significantly. I mean, it was up there, but my strength endurance was insane. I mean, I would do like 405 pounds for a lot of reps on deadlift and squat. Like I could just pump them out. But then I couldn't edge my 1 rep max that much further. And so they are very different. And I think people think that they're one and the same, but they're not. You actually have to kind of choose which direction you want to go. And the further you get up on that pyramid, the more work you have to put in. So given that, getting into this study, which looked a little bit more at the best way to train strength endurance, I think it's like really obvious, but maybe that's just because I've been in the industry for too long, but like their takeaway for how to train strength endurance, I thought was really funny. But what did you guys think about this study?
I like the distinguishing and the comparison of absolute strength endurance versus relative strength endurance, which is something that I never really thought about before. And it's something that I think with training as you go, you kind of do both as you go through. So if you're off a fresh 1 rep max, then you're basically training in relative strength endurance. But one of the reasons why I also wait for so long to max out is that eventually, if you keep training strength, you're going to get stronger and stronger, and then your absolute strength endurance is what you're going to be kind of moving to. So the difference is relative is you're doing like a certain percentage, lifting as much as you can based off of your current max. But as you get stronger, if your max goes up, you're comparing with with that same weight for relative, but at absolute, once you get stronger, it's still that same weight from previously, even though your percentage would have changed. So you're still comparing from the reps from before. And I liked doing that when I was training for my 400-pound back squat, because I only after a year of training, I only did one test. I only did one like mid 6 month new 1 rep max, and then before I tested it at the 1 year mark. And that's because of I wanted to see how my absolute strength endurance compared over a certain amount of months. So after 3-4 months, I would test the same sort of max reps or something to that degree, and that way I could compare 1-to-1 with what I did in the past. That it's like you could see definite improvement without actually doing a 1 rep max. So I like that the study did that, and yeah, what you said that higher rep is going to be better for strength endurance, and I like that they mentioned that it also has going with the higher rep ranges, that you're going to get some aerobic effect of that as well, depending on how high you go up to. I'll turn it over to Ashley before we get into anything else.
I thought it was fairly simple. Like, for the criteria, basically for me, like I looked at the other two, there's like 3 different points, but the first one was just basically like they wanted the studies to have 2 different rep ranges on measures of strength. So a low rep and a high rep, right? And then, so pretty simple in my book. But the other thing that I am not a fan of when it comes to these higher rep stuff is always that performing to failure. It's never been a jam for me. I don't think for any of us. So it was interesting, I guess, when they talked about numbers. Joe, I didn't know if this is where you were going to go next. Like oh, no. Okay. Just kidding. But they were talking like, wasn't it 24 was like a sweet spot or something like
okay,
that?
Yeah, the meta regression was kind of interesting how they found that, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So what was that?
So the meta regression was they found that at 24 reps, I guess, was capped at the benefit for more strength endurance. So like you can have your strength endurance sets, and you can go up to 20 rep sets and then 30, 40 rep sets. But they found at about 24 is when any sort of strength endurance progress like was capped out. So like you don't need to be doing like 30, 40 rep sets, just cap it at 24, 25. And then from there, raise the weight and lower the reps kind of thing, which I thought was really cool that they and kind of a nice nugget to pull out. Now that's specifically the note that I put down for that was that's specifically strength endurance. That's not necessarily referring to hypertrophy. That's something different.
Yeah, and I mean, I think if you're working strength endurance, you're going to get hypertrophy. They're just kind of like
so close.
Yeah, they're really close. But I mean, anything more than 24 reps, if you've ever done that, I mean, we've done a lot of things with more than 24 reps, obviously, but it's typically, it might be lunges or push-ups or,
Right.
Air squats. But when you add a barbell to that, anything more than 24 reps is just like dumb. You're like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing 24 reps of the back squat? And we've done that stuff too, but it's just like, that's what you're thinking in your head once you do it. You're like, this is stupid, and it doesn't take a lot of weight once you get to 24 reps or above to really tax you.
I think the most we've done is like 20, right? Like 3 sets of 20 at like a 50 to maybe 60%. I don't know.
Yeah, we've definitely done 20 because that's kind of like the max end of what we would program. And that I think that there is a huge benefit. Joe touched on it, and it's the aerobic ability. Like you're changing weightlifting to something new entirely. To me, I think if you can push out 20 rep sets on the back squat, you're building your aerobic capacity, you're building your strength, you're building just your ability to do grunt work, because that's what it takes over just building 1 rep max. And yeah, the ultimate takeaway being resistance training with a higher number of repetitions greater than or equal to 15 is more effective than lower repetitions for enhancing local muscular endurance when assessed using a given percentage of post-intervention 1 rep max, but not pre-intervention 1 rep max, is the ultimate conclusion of the study, which, again, the reason I said it is just kind of like a no-brainer is if I asked my 10-year-old, when he gets home from school, if I asked him how do you train muscular endurance, would it be 5 reps or 15 reps? I think he would get it right. And he doesn't study this stuff or look at it. I just feel like it was a pretty obvious takeaway. So that's why I felt like a discussion on strength methods was more important here. And there's the strength continuum, which I hit on at the beginning of the podcast. So 4 different areas of the strength continuum, going from strength all the way to speed. But then the 3 different methods that I hit on: max effort, repeated effort, and dynamic effort. You do want to make sure that you have an element of all of those in your strength programming, because when you do start to forget one, when we're not talking about specialization anymore. And that was kind of where the conversation was at the beginning of the podcast. Like, if I had to specialize in one of these, I would want to specialize in strength endurance, because I just feel like there's more carryover and it's better for the human being in general. But when we're talking about programming, it should be more well-rounded. So there should be some max efforts in there. There should be dynamic effort, which is like explosive lifting, more of the strength endurance category. And then repeated effort, which is a little bit more focused. I call it hypertrophy work. I just think that you can make, like, if I give you a 5-pound dumbbell, just lifting it could be super easy, but you could make it hard. Like, you can make it hard. Like, you could move really slow. You can make sure that you like really extend your muscles. Like, how you move your muscle is way more important in hypertrophy. And I think that's often lost when people are going to execute their training. Like,
You're saying like tempo?
It can be tempo, but it's just whatever, like, forget everything, like time-wise, whatever. Like, just go in the gym and be like, okay, this is a 10-pound, 15-pound dumbbell, whatever would be a light curl for you, and make it hurt. Like, how can I make this hurt? And yeah, you could go a lot slower. You could overextend. You could just do a lot of different things to make that hurt. And the more you make it hurt, the more hypertrophy that you're going to probably induce. That's not scientific, what I just gave you, but that's like the basics of like hypertrophy training. There's not a lot of magic to the reps in hypertrophy. It's just like getting it done. But there's a lot more magic to the reps in strength endurance and max effort training, to getting the proper percentages and stimulus and all those things. So I think my takeaway here is train all the strength continuum and all the different methods. If you want to do that, great. Hard to kill is probably your best bet. Not gonna lie, I think strength probably hits it all, but I know hard to kill specifically will hit all of those areas every 30 days, and you won't have to worry about trying to put that into your own program. Anything else on the study?
I mean, just my tips for Trampus would be not
worrying
worrying about
meet yourself Saturday.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. Well, I'll say either way. My takeaway for the study for what this kind of was that what I mentioned before is not worrying about like trying to test and have that 1 rep max line move all the time, because as long as you're working strength endurance, which most of our programs will do, then you're either going to be doing absolute strength endurance or relative strength endurance. Both do good things. Both are important. And if you feel yourself getting stronger and stronger and you are ready to max out, that means you're getting toward your absolute strength endurance. You can compare it to what you did in the past. And then that could also mean, which I kind of use it as an indicator when I'm a max out, that is kind of an indication that you have gotten stronger and you can probably hit a new 1 rep max. And then the cycle starts over again. And then you're going to be back to relative strength endurance and then so on and so forth.
Awesome. What's up, guys? Did you know that I wrote a book? Kind of crazy that it's out there and I almost never talk about it. The book is called Killing Comfort. And what you may not know is that I just lowered the price of the book to the lowest allowable level on Amazon. And you might be asking, why would I do such a thing? And the answer is because I want to put my money where my mouth is and prove I am here to help as many people as I possibly can. And I won't have the price of the book stand in the way. It's also on Audible if you want to hear me read it, but I can't actually adjust the price there. It's automatically set by Amazon on that platform. Either way, you can go to Amazon or killingcomfort.com and get the book at its lowest possible price. If you like the book, I'd love a positive review and 5-star rating if you see fit on Amazon. Leaving your review is a great way to help us help more people. All right, back to the show. All right. Now on to the topic. We're talking Better Human Friday. If you are watching on YouTube, I actually have the page pulled up for Better Human Friday. We're going to kind of use it as a guide as we're talking about this. So every year we do participate in Black Friday, but we call it Better Human Friday because it's all about making you a better human in 2023 with all the things that you can snag and do. Some of them are not even actually listed on the page yet, but we wanted to show you some of them. Now, if you want to be a part of it, go to garagegymathlete.com. There's a banner at the top of the website. You can click on that. Make sure you have entered in your name and email address. You will be notified about this. You will not be notified if you don't do that. So make sure you go to garagegymathlete.com, banner at the top, click it, enter name, email address, and you'll be notified when we kick off Better Human Friday here in our community. So we have a lot of different things that we do. I'm actually going to start with the lifetime deal at Garage Gym Athlete. So we offer a very limited number of lifetime memberships. So that it is what it says. It's just a lifetime deal. You don't have to pay monthly ever again. But I want to talk about some of these things. And the reason we're kind of covering this as a topic on the podcast is because I feel like there's a lot of little things that we need to hit on to talk about with Garage Gym Athletes, just so you know what we're doing, why we do it, and how limited some of these things are going to be. So the lifetime deal, there's only going to be a handful of them available this year. I mean, it'll be sold out before. If I send the email and you see that you got it, like the email was sent 3 hours ago, you missed it. You missed it. You're not gonna have access to it. But lifetime deal is, I don't know, why snag the lifetime deal, Joe? Like why would anyone ever want to do that?
Because we are awesome to be stuck with for life.
That's it. You want to marry Garage Gym Athlete in the team.
Gosh.
You basically want to get married to us. And so you would do a lifetime deal of Garage Gym Athlete. Again, only a handful of those are gonna be happening. And then we have 12 months of Garage Gym Athlete and 6 months of Garage Gym Athlete. And those are just bring down your monthly fee. So if you've been training with us for a while and you want to comment on those things, you want to commit with those things, go ahead and do it. Now, from Joe and Ashley handle a majority of the customer service side of this. What do you want the community to know about buying either a lifetime deal, a 12-month deal, a 6-month deal? Is there anything that they need to do or know if they're going to grab those, if they're already on a membership?
So for the 12 and 6 specifically, you're locked into that like sale price forever. So if you sign up then you won't have to do it in the future, and you're at that discount forever. So it's almost like a lifetime discount if you just stick with that same thing. And so that means if you did it last year, you're still locked into it this year. You don't have to do it again. And with that said, if you are on, like, say you're going from 12-month to lifetime or 6-month lifetime or whatever, then you just have to let us know, because it essentially acts like a second membership. It's a separate membership. It doesn't replace your first one. So you just have to let us know that, hey, I opted in for the lifetime, or I opted in for the 12-month, and you're on a monthly. Then just let us know so that we can take care of your other ones, so you're not on 2 memberships at the same time.
For me, it's sorry.
Go ahead.
I guess for me, this might be a little harsh, but just what Jerred said, like the lifetime is, it's first come, first serve. Whoever gets there, gets there. And just know that, like, we cannot we cannot change it for you if you missed it in the time that the email was sent.
Yeah,
I might have to set an alarm for just before the email is sent, just to make it active. Because last time we had some hackers go out there and was able to find the links before the email went out. So that's how much people were going for the lifetime ones.
Yeah, and that's, all the lifetimers we have right now and people looking to buy the lifetime. We really appreciate you. It's awesome. And we just do a limited deal on that because, we ultimately can't, we wouldn't want to support as many lifetimes as we could, because it would reduce the actually monthly recurring revenue of the business too much to where, we would be able to keep on the lights other than every November, which, is not something that we want to do. And so that's the main reason. Like, I'll just tell you from a business standpoint why we don't offer like hundreds of those for the community. But everything else, good to go. Like Joe said, you lock in the 12 months or the 6 months. That's also a great deal to have because it will renew the next year. And we will check those things. It's not a requirement for you to let us know, but it will be way more helpful if you did let us know, just because everyone's membership can like click over at a different time, right? And so if it just like happens to be within 48 hours, no chance we're getting to that on that, whatever Black Friday weekend. But let's roll down to the training program. So we used to sell all of these individually on the website, and for actually even more money than some of them are listed here. So I'm just going to go through each program real quick. So we have a End Gravity squat program. It's a 3-week program, 4-week barbell program. We have the first ever, it was called the Harder to Kill program. It's 7 weeks, one of our most popular. Foundations, basic training, Better Human, the Insomniac, Tree Trunk Challenge, Be the Elephant, and basic training. These are all ranging from anywhere from 3 to 7 weeks of training. And what you get in these programs is you actually log into the back end of Garage Gym Athlete, and there is an athlete brief, typically me on camera for all of these programs, going over exactly what to do in that day's workout, briefing it so there's no confusion, just like we do in our Garage Gym Athlete app for our daily training, and then has the full breakdown of the workout and things that you can download and all that stuff. So it is separate from the app. So we partner with the Team Builder app for running Garage Gym Athlete. It is not in the app. I think the biggest clarification I'll have there, but it is a program that you buy and you own forever, which is probably one of the biggest differences to note here. And we actually have a lot of Garage Gym Athletes who still buy this because they will have forever programs at huge discounts, because I think all of them come down to $7 for, you could buy, I don't even want to add it all up. You could buy a lot of programming there for like $50, a lot of weeks of programming, really solid stuff. Anything community should know about these individual one-off programs?
All these programs are part of the membership. They're in the training center on the website. So while you have an active membership, you can access them there. So like, I guess if you're on a membership and you want to pick a couple of these to own forever, just go into your library, go into the training center, see which ones you might like. And then you only have access to the training center while on an active membership. But if you buy them outright, like on these, then you'll own them forever. So if you can preview them or you just like how they look, then buy them and keep them forever, or just check them out on the training center if you have a membership.
Yep. I recommend Tree Trunk. Shocker.
That's a good one. And one thing that we're doing that's not on here that falls in line with the training is we're bringing back some archive training. So we are bringing back a year's worth of the Hard to Kill track, shred track, and the strength track. So you can buy an entire year of that programming in PDF format. So again, we're not in the app here. We're talking about forever training. You can buy a year of each one of those. And so I'm going to save all of the details until launch, but just know that that's coming. So you can buy, it's going to really increase our offering here, because that's entire year of each one of those. So technically 3 years worth of training if you bought all 3 of them. So it's a lot of training, and that's what we have the most of: training programs, workouts, reps, sets, all that kind of stuff. But these programs are one-off. They're shorter in duration. The Be the Elephant, the Tree Trunk Challenge, all those kind of things. You can buy the entire Garage Gym Athlete, a year's worth of one of our tracks, which is going to be huge, because those are 12-week cycles, very well planned and programmed and periodized and all those things. So if you're really looking for some solid training, definitely check that out when we launch. And again, if you want to make sure that you get notified about this, you go to garagegymathlete.com, click on the banner at the top, make sure you enter in your name and email address, and we will let you know when we launch. All right. EO3 courses. I don't know. What do you guys have to say about our courses? We rarely sell our courses outside of behind the scenes stuff that we're doing. We have 3 listed here. So we have their program design course, a fuels course, and the digital programming side hustle. Which one do you recommend an athlete should go purchase, Ashley?
Program design course.
I thought you were going to say fuels.
I know, right? The nutrition person would do that, but no, I think the program design course, because it gives you the why behind what you're doing. And I think when I took, was it program design when we took it? I don't remember. It was so far back.
Yeah.
But it was very eye-opening for me, and to understand the methodology behind the training really actually improved my training in kind of a weird sort of way, because I would look at the day-to-day and be able to say, oh, this is what I need to go after. Even the athlete briefs also do that for you. So listen up to those. But it's kind of cool to be able to do that with your training.
Yeah,
Bill,
a
what's
lot of
your
people.
pick?
A lot of people. Well, I was going to go program design as well. A lot of people have reached out about the full-on coaching course, and the program design course is a portion of that full-on thing. But I think it would be good because of, if you've been around for a long time and you just want to know kind of how the program's built, and maybe you're already on the lifetime or on the annual and you want to check out the program design course, then you can see how programs are built, see the actual programming of what you're doing, and then things will just kind of click over. And and if you were looking into any sort of the coaching stuff, that's a portion of it. But just to give a little bump to the fuels, it's kind of like our only thing that's tied in with nutrition. Everything else is programming based, but the fuels is 100% like if you're looking to help with your performance. If we just did recently the podcast on like pre-meal eating and things like that of training and eating and stuff. So the fuels course will help with that.
Yeah, I mean, fuels course, I think every athlete should go through it. It'll just give you a better understanding of energy systems and how that relates to your diet. So like how you should be fueling you, not in general terms. Like we actually have tests in there to individualize it more to how your heart rate responds to training and how your performance metrics look on the given tests in that program. And then there's a lot surrounding energy systems, macronutrients, and fueling. That's why it's called the fuels course. I think that one's really awesome. Program design course. Also, if you want to know our methodology, great place to start. That one, like the lifetime deal, will be limited in quantity. So we will not just have an unlimited amount of program design courses out there. So we will limit that. And then lastly, the digital programming side hustle is actually a part of our larger EO3 coaching course. And this is for people, if anyone's listening who's like looking to start some sort of side hustle with coaching or something like that, which I'm a huge fan of having a side hustle. I mean, I always think even when you love what you do, start a side hustle doing something else. It's just a fun way to make additional cash or whatever. So if you are looking to get coach certifications and then how to monetize that, that's a great place to look. And, for a huge discount, we actually don't ever sell the digital programming side hustle outside of the entire EO3 coaching course. So this is really the only place that you can get it, and also will be limited in quantity. So program design course and digital programming side hustle, limited in quantity. Fuels course will not be limited, but I highly recommend that you grab the fuels course if you're an athlete looking to understand your body a little bit more when it comes to nutrition and your performance.
Yeah, when Jerred made the fuels course, I think I was there early on, and he got in the mail a college chemistry textbook that he was doing some light reading on when designing the fuels course. So it's not just like a arbitrary things thrown together.
That was a lot. That was a lot to go through on that one. That book was hard to read too.
Yeah, a little dry, buddy. I would say for the digital programming side hustle that that is a steal. That is an absolute steal for the amount of knowledge that you are going to get from from that. So jump
Yeah, I mean,
on it.
you could make a lot more money than it costs pretty fast. That one's like there's a
The
definite
return on
ROI.
investment is
Yeah, it's harder to ROI. I always joke about this because in my life, like there are two different things to sell. There's there's fitness, right? Is one big thing that I sell. But I could honestly add 10 years to someone's life. Like, hey, follow all my programs. You're going to live 10 years longer. And people are like, oh, yeah, that's cool. What's it worth? $25 a month. But then I could be like, I can make you way more money. And they're like, I'll pay you anything. It's just crazy how the human psyche works. But it's true. You can charge a lot more money and people are willing to pay to learn how to make more money. And we have that in here at a huge discount. But ultimately, everything else in here is going to help you live longer, and but people don't value that as much, which is hilarious.
Still live longer while you're making more money.
There you go. Do both. How about you just snag them all? All right. Next is all the one-man training systems. So we have the one-man system, which is primarily body weight. It is all body weight. Then we have one man, one kettlebell, as it sounds. One man, one kettlebell, or one woman. I was recently attacked about that.
Gosh.
And then one man, one barbell. Also could be woman or man. So anyway, all of these programs, big discount on them. I was talking about one man, one barbell quite a bit at the beginning of this podcast with the different strength methodologies. I often reference one man, one barbell because that was like what we did here for like 6 years, something like that when we started there. But there was no garage gym athlete. There was one man, one barbell. And like that was it. That was the program. And because it was the program, I was constantly updating it, researching more, making it better, just going deeper and deeper on one man, one barbell, making that program more effective to where it's like, it's massive now. It's an education, to be honest. I mean, to get the 4-week structure, easy, the templates, that's all in there. Like you can jump straight into a strength program, but going back up to like the program design course, one man, one barbell is almost in that category to me now, because if you use every asset inside of the one man, one barbell program that we have, you will learn so much about strength, the different strength methodologies, how to use them, implement them. So it's just really a steal that we will have these massive discounts on the one man system, one man, one kettlebell, and one man, one barbell. And I actually want to know, which one's your favorite, Joe?
I mean, I still use one man, one barbell while programming strength. I use some of the strength methodologies in there, like the exponential EMOM has always been my favorite. And that always comes up probably every other cycle in strength track, because the EMOM work it's serious and it's great. I also just did one man kettlebell because of bare bones track, and it kicked my butt, but it was a good kicking.
Ashley, which one's your favorite?
Okay, so I'm going to admit that I've only done one of the three, but I
Which
know.
one is it? One man system?
Duh. I always talk about the one man system. It is literally my favorite body weight training. But one man, one barbell, that's like Scott's go-to when he's in a rut and he's like, I just wanted to go back to one man, one barbell. But you said something, I think it was a couple podcasts ago, about how your body kind of hurts sometimes when you do one man, one barbell. And that really intrigued me. So maybe I shouldn't be intrigued when you say stuff like that, but it makes
I don't
me
know.
like,
I don't remember
"Ooh."
the context of me saying that.
I think it was when we did it was something about soreness and like recovering from your different levels of soreness, and EMOMs was part of that. But you said if you had been a while since you've done one man, one barbell, then you'll feel it, because it's just straight strength barbell.
Well, yeah, in the grand scheme of strength programs, one man, one barbell is a high volume strength program. And just to put in context for like a traditional strength program, aside from like German volume training, this is like, it's pretty high volume, but it's also very low in time. And so, yeah, EMOM will always rip my legs up. That's the one where I'm like, wow, I'm sore now. I didn't know you could get sore now, but one man, one barbell will do it to you. But also really effective for gaining strength. This is the program that I use to go forgot my baseline at the time. It was maybe like 385, 400 to 540 pounds on the deadlift. So I got a triple body weight deadlift only following that program. So I weighed 180 pounds and got to 540 on the deadlift doing that program only. And to hit on, Scott saying, just to go back to it, the reason I think that it's so awesome, the program, is a lot of like, maybe Scott's mentality around it is similar to mine, is like, there's a lot going on in our lives. Like, we have a lot of other stuff going on. And sometimes I just need like simplicity and just like not like, when I say simplicity, I mean, like, I don't even want an additional thing in my training. Like, I want a barbell. All I want to do is change plates. That's about all my brain can take right now. I've had those kind of areas of my life multiple times. Like, if you have me going from like reverse hyper to kettlebell, whatever, I'm like, no, I just need the 1-man-1 barbell right now. So it's a really solid program. And then we have, lastly, banners and books. So we have Garage Gym Athlete banner, if you're looking to hang one up in your garage, EO3 banner, and the audiobook for Killing Comfort. So, we've been putting on the podcast a lot. You can get Killing Comfort on Amazon right now for the lowest possible amount that Amazon will allow me to put it, because they have their own fulfillment costs. Because believe it or not, it costs money to print paper and make a book. So they have to have a minimum charge there. But the audiobook on Audible, me as the author, I have zero say in what the price is for that book. They price it themselves, primarily based off of length of time. That's why if you've seen people doing like in betweens on audiobooks, like the David Goggins book, like where you like read a chapter, that increases the length of the book, which increases the price of the book. And that's the only way to increase the price of a book, is increase the length. So if you have a shorter book, just talk more about the book after reading the book and you'll make it longer. All that to say, this will be the cheapest place you can get the audiobook. It's going to be the cheapest place you can download it straight from our website, because I can't control that outside on audible.com. I can control it on our own website. And then if you do just want the Killing Comfort book, you already know where to do that. Get it on amazon.com. But banners and audiobooks, I don't know. There's a lot to say. You guys have anything on this one?
Nope.
Cool. All right, so that is it. We will move on to the workout, but this is Better Human Friday. Again, last time I'll say it. Go to garagegymathlete.com. Go to the banner at the top of the website. Click on it, and you will be able to enter your name and email address. And what you're actually doing is signing up for the Garage newsletter that we send out on Friday. But one of these Fridays is going to be Better Human Friday, and that's what we will be launching. So go do that while you still can. All right. Now time for tradition, as tradition would have it.
Yes. Workout Geo Metro. This comes up every Thanksgiving, and I'm not even sure why it's a Thanksgiving theme. You might have just made it up like 10 years ago, and that's just when it happened. But now it's the
what
thing.
happened. It happened around Thanksgiving, and I was like, well, it's tradition now.
Yeah, here we go. So Geo Metro, everything must be done unbroken through this circuit, chip, or whatever you want, but you go one thing to the next, everything done unbroken in order to move to the next rung. 15 handstand push-ups, 10 full squat cleans, 10 strict pull-ups, 20 deadlifts, 25 push-ups, and 15 back squats. All the barbell stuff is at the same weight, 135/95. But you can also obviously scale it whatever. And then there are time parameters for, 336 or less, you are more powerful than a Geo Metro. 337 to 4, as powerful as one, and over 4, you are less powerful than a Geo Metro. And Geo Metro is a old tiny hatchback car.
Yeah, we probably have to start briefing that.
We were like, what the heck is that?
What is a Geo Metro? Why are we even talking about it? So I always tell the story, because I feel like I have to, of, you just asked, like, why this is Thanksgiving tradition. Really just because I created the workout around Thanksgiving. And I think I was like, off work in the military, and I did it. And then I was like, oh, that was great. But here's the original idea behind it. I was doing a lot of different work on I was just kind of getting obsessed with like trying to translate barbell speed and barbell volume and all these things to different equations like horsepower. And I had all these like calculators to where I could do that. And I was like, this is awesome. Like I'm gonna come up with something. And the reason the weights are held in there and there are time frames is because that's the only real way you can generate horsepower is to put out more power under a time domain, because that's how horsepower is rated. You can't just do it over any time period. That's not how energy works. But when I was going through all of the calculations, I was like, all right, I'm gonna make like the Ferrari workout or like, something really cool. I tried doing it with like comparing it to really powerful cars, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. It was basically impossible, as it should be. I mean, that's why we moved from horse and buggy to cars, right? I mean, humans are useless at generating significant amounts of power. And so as I kept doing my calculations, it just kept getting lower and lower and lower to where I was like, we can't even, not even a Honda Civic. We can't even do that. So I found basically what is, I think, the world's worst car ever created from a horsepower standpoint. It only has 3 cylinders. And I don't remember how much, it was like 65 horsepower or something. It's just stupid. But I ended up thinking it was so funny that I just had to roll with it. I was like, well, this is it. You're either more powerful or less powerful than the worst car ever made. And so that is the story behind the Geo Metro Thanksgiving Throwdown. So what tips do you guys have for this one?
I mean, you definitely have to. I mean, the warm up is the main thing, just because you have to go through unbroken everything. So everything you do has to be essentially max effort. So really practice on those barbell things, and I guess for the last thing, the back squats are 15 reps. It's all the same weight, so you're using the same barbell. So that means you are cleaning that back squat first before you put it over. Clean it from the ground, put it onto your back. So maybe practice that a few times so you don't get to it and go, oh shit, I'm not using a rack.
It's just a push and a press.
Yeah.
You should be fine. My 2 notes are: I feel the need for speed. Okay, had to. There's only one speed to go, and it's fast. You just gotta go Ricky Bobby fast. That's it. See, 2 movie quotes.
I'm trying to look something up real quick. Yes, there. I don't know if we put this in there, but there is a video. Is there an athlete brief of me explaining this workout?
It should be, yeah.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Well, there's also a YouTube video out there of me doing the workout. If you want to see young Jerred do this workout, like 10 years ago, or maybe it's like 9 years ago or something like that, you can see me do it. So
yeah, the video,
that's out
there's
there.
a video, and that was like you with the pull-up bar on the straps.
Oh yeah, that was Garage Gym 1.0 right there. It's pretty solid.
Actually, the brief for the Geo Metro has you doing it at the end of the workout too. So
okay, good. There you go.
I'm also surprised it hasn't gotten taken down by YouTube, because you have that song playing. So that's nice.
What song is? Oh,
what song?
Eminem? I know. No. It's on the top of my head. I think it's Cake by Cake.
Cake, yeah. Yeah, I mean, YouTube just used to be lawless. I just steal people's music all the time.
Whatever music you want.
Yeah. But that's it.
Look at that clean form.
Yeah,
I'm watching
form's great. Look at that clean shaven face too. I mean, just a baby. I only had one kid at the time, fewer gray hairs. This is good stuff. All right, but that's it for this one. I think go try it out. It's hardly a workout. I mean, it's hard, but it's so short, right? So do a long warm up and long cool down after the fact. But you gotta see if you're faster than a Geo Metro at least once a year. I think it's just, I know every human is wondering deep down, like, am I more powerful than any vehicle that's been made? And you can answer that question by doing this workout. But that's it. Better Human Friday launching this week. I hope to see you there. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out. For everyone in the community, thank you so much for being a part of the community and supporting us every step of the way. If you want to become a part of the community, you can go to garagegymathlete.com. You can sign up for a 14-day free trial, or you can wait till Better Human Friday, which only ever happens once a year, and you can snag some of our training and, become a part of a community that way. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching or listening. Remember, if you don't kill comfort, comfort will kill you. Athlete Podcast. If you want to learn more, go to garagegymathlete.com. You can learn about our training. Let us send you a copy of our book, The Garage Gym Athlete, or you can even get featured on the Garage Gym Athlete podcast. Thanks for listening.